Here I go again, making another video to myself. I like that because when I look at my old videos, everything I said was right. It did happen as I said it would, and I reckon that's great because, mate, it's like prophet. It's like weird looking at yourself, going, "Oh, gee, what a prophet! How did he know that?" Well, here I go again. The ground is hardened up in Ukraine. So Russia will go on a major offensive if they haven't already started now. And the reason for that is because over winter when the ground was soft, Russia was making gains on offensives, but obviously slowly due to the ground. And what that means is Ukraine was able to provide a reasonable amount of defence against the offensives, but even though they were losing ground, they were still offering resistance and losing ground slowly. Now, what that is like is they're in a state of attrition, but at that rate of advance by Russia, they're still able to supply the front. It's a bit like if two athletes are on the running track, and one of them is just heavily puffing because they're out of breath, but they're keeping up with their competitor because their competitor is only jogging. So I'm expecting Russia to sprint to the finish line and leave the competitor in the dust. So there will be a eutectic melting point where if the offensive is great enough by Russia, Ukraine will completely collapse because they're in their state of attrition. They won't be able to supply the front with soldiers they kidnap off the streets. They won't be able to supply the front with whatever drones that they can manufacture locally because the American hardware is shit, and or whatever they got left from weapons from the USA. So I'm predicting that will happen, and anyway, that's the end of this video. Oh, that's right. I was thinking, recently I've seen a lot of media. I didn't know that Trump was still posting on X. He has been, and he's saying, "Oh, I can't believe Putin, he bombed Kiev." Well, for God's sake, Ukraine sent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drones deep into Russia trying to hit Moscow. This is retaliation. Imagine if Ukraine was at war with the USA and Ukraine sent hundreds and hundreds of drones at Washington, and one of them had a near miss on Trump. What the hell do you think the US would do? And then this is the opposite of blind justice. Blind justice meaning you can't see who's on which side of the scales, and you have to just measure the weight of the evidence objectively. Apply the same standards to both sides because you don't know who's on which side. But when the blindfold is off and there's just completely total partisan, the people become incredibly ignorant. It's called toxic tribalism. Toxic tribalism. They are incredibly ignorant and they can only see one side, and they can't see the hypocrisy of themselves. It's like it's a retaliation. You got to remember if Ukraine uses Western weapons to go into Russia, that's the same as if Russia was targeting Ukraine's supplies, Ukraine's factories. Let's say Russia bombed the Leopard tank factory in Germany. That's what that would be like, and all of the escalation comes from the West. And then when Russia retaliates, as they must, because they can't fight with one hand tied behind their back at a disadvantage, and they retaliate, then they're like, it's like punching someone in the face, and when they punch you back in self-defense, "Oh, I'm a victim." This level of psychopathy, this level of toxic tribalism, this incomplete and total partisan, one-eyed, if you would, is a term used in Australian football when they claim that the umpire favours one side over the other, is a one-eyed umpire. This is all too common, and it is a sign of people lying to themselves. The Jews are particularly indoctrinated with this belief that, and that's why they can blatantly go on and brag about killing babies in Palestine. They're just completely deluded. This is the root of all evil. I've got to tell you, it's the root of psychopathy. And if you can't apply the same standards to both sides, put the shoe on the other foot. When you're motivated by lying to yourself to justify your side over the other, you're a psychopath. And that's now the end of my video.